Hello, hello, and welcome to day 3. We are here about to tune in with our higher self guided journey. And this is going to be a powerful session because we're going to be learning just a bit more about how to really tune in and connect with the larger part of us, our divine self. And so, um, if you are, let's see, I'm going to let people start joining. I see people are starting. And um, so, we're going to be talking about what it means to fully surrender to that larger part of you. And, our ego identity would love to just keep things going as they are and get in these, habits and patterns that just keep us feeling comfortable. But in order to surrender, to open to that larger part of us, it really is so important to surrender, open, and trust. Trust in something larger than the little me. So I see people are starting to join, and if you would like to, please share with me where you are tuning in from. I know we've had a lot of locals coming through the last couple of days, some people from other places, mostly the US, but yeah, I would love to know. So, and then also if you'd like to put in the comments, if you are live with me, go ahead and hashtag Divine Live. And if you're watching the replay, you can hashtag Divine Replay. So I just want to give you a big thank you for your participation in the last few days. It's meant so much to me because I did put a lot of love and effort, happy labor of love into this little mini series. And I hope you're enjoying it. It seems like you are. And I've just really appreciated, every little like, comment, heart, all of it. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So today, like I was saying, we're going to be talking about this version of you that's in a higher dimensional space of consciousness. And in linear terms, you could see it as like the future you. But that's not exactly how it works, but it kind of helps us, right? So if we can see it like that, it's a future us, then they obviously know, how to help us, like what's going to come next. They can see that. Or if you're seeing it like they're this expanded part of you, and they can just see the whole puzzle, right? And here, as we're, continuing to awaken and ascend, we're still like, well, I can see this puzzle piece and this puzzle piece, and maybe I should go here and here, but you're not seeing the full picture. And so that's why we get to, in this ascension process, we have the opportunity to, really let go of the control, open our hearts, and trust and surrender to that larger part of us. And how we, well, right before I get into it, I did want to mention, a quick reminder that everyone who has typed in scholarship the last couple days, your form is going to be due tonight, so at midnight. And if you want to know more about this and what this course is all about, what I'm giving the scholarship for, go ahead and stay till the end because I'm going to speak about this at the end of today. So, okay, cool. So let's go ahead and dive in. So I want to start with a question for you, and that is, who here pays attention to the signs and messages from your higher self or the universe? Go ahead and let me know in the comments because, I know that people are starting to see some of these signs. We're going to get into what those signs can typically be, but I'd love to know. So let me know in the comments. So how do we tune in? And there are so many ways. I feel like we've learned, so many have learned that meditation, sitting still and being quiet is the only way. And some people probably believe that you've got to go sit in the Himalayan mountains and meditate your entire life to become, awakened or realized. But it's just not true anymore, at least. Maybe that was, probably a main way they've done it in the past. But at this time in our history, if you will, as a collective and on this planet, the energies are so ripe for so many of us to fully come back online, awaken and remember our divine roots and our ancient existences, other parallel existences, if you will. Again, different ways to look at it, and bring online all of the amazing versions of us. So that's just one way, is to sit still, be quiet, and tune in that way. And it works. I love it. I love doing that. But there's other people who that's not their favorite way. And so there are other ways, like, for instance, movement. You can be moving and connecting with your higher self. So again, the way I see meditation is you're just taking time to connect with that larger part of you, or the universe, whatever, how you want to see it. But you can be moving, you could be doing your favorite activity, you could be, hiking or dancing. And if you have that intention, you could be washing the dishes, you could be driving your car. It doesn't matter. It's your intention, and it's your, just, tuning yourself like a tuning fork to connect with and communicate with your higher self. And so also, it's not just about listening, but it is about speaking to our higher self, that larger part of us. So, we want to get into a rhythm and a practice of, putting our desires out there to our higher self. We want to communicate when we, ask for help, all of these things. So, okay, so some people are writing, so you look to pay attention to your true self, but that's definitely not saying aware of it. Yes, so it is a process. That's true. That is true. Thanks for saying so. It's such a process for all of us, because we're not always clear, and we're going to get into that too, but it's not always easy, right? And I'm sure you've noticed that there are times when maybe you see signs all over the place, and that day you're like, ooh, I am on fire. I'm seeing all these signs. And then some days you're like, oh, does God even exist? I'm feeling like crap. and maybe you do. Maybe, you're not hydrated, or you're not, there's many reasons why we don't feel clear. And we're going to get into more of that. But so, what are the signs that you've received? I'd love to know that. Do you see angel numbers like 1111, 1111? A lot of people are starting to see that. That's an initiatory number that kind of gets you to start seeing other number patterns, like 444. There's so many. And there's, maybe it's images in your third eye, like, are you clairvoyant? Do you just know something and you're not sure how you know? You don't know how you know, but you just know that that's the right, next step for you to take, or that person's not going to be, the best influence for you. Or maybe it's like lyrics in a song. There's so many ways, but, I would love to know in the comments, if you'd like to let me know, how do you communicate with your higher self, and what's your gift? So now I would love to know, who here has heard or sensed their inner guidance and has seen the signs, but you've seen a sign, right? Or you've heard the guidance, but you've procrastinated in taking action on what it is you're being called to do. Or maybe you've ignored it completely. So type yes in the comments if you've done that. I know I have plenty of times, but why? Why do we do that? And if I can just speak to my own journey, it's a lot of times about fear of the unknown, getting uncomfortable. The ego will have plenty of reasons to keep us safe, even though when we follow that guidance, things are amazing. And then we do the thing and like, oh, that wasn't so bad, right? I'm sure you've probably had that experience. I'm sure we probably all have. So, oh, and another reason is maybe you're not trusting it, and you're not trusting that you're interpreting it clearly or correctly. Like it feels like, yeah, it seems like I'm being called to this, but then self-doubt comes in. You're like, I don't know. I just don't know, and then we don't follow it because we're like, I don't trust it. I'm not sure. So that's all very, common and typical. So what I've learned personally is that when we don't listen and we ignore the inner calling, we lead a life of soul lessons, which is perfectly great and a lot of the reason why we're here, yes. But when we pay attention and we take that inspired action, we lead a life of miracles. And there is a difference, or at least in our perception there is. So, when we don't follow that inner guidance and take that inspired action, what happens? And I'm sure you can probably relate to this, but so often we get like hit over the head with a 2x4, right? And it's not as pleasant, but we learn. It's a soul lesson, so that's good. It is always good, and it is always here to benefit us, our universe, our higher self. It's all here for our highest good. So that's why we can lean back and trust that it's all happening for us and benevolent. But if you really want to raise the bar and the standard, and you really want to have self-mastery, let's say, for your life, start to tune in, listen, pay attention to the signs because they're everywhere. So I think I missed the... I was going to read, but I think I have it out of order. Okay, I guess we're not going to read that part. So these signs, let's see. Okay, so these signs and messages that we see, I had spoken about this earlier, so I'm going to go to the next part. So I'm going to read a little channeling that I brought through. To light the spark of divine inspiration, we communicate with our higher self, God source, our universe. When you have a want or need inside a relationship, you ask for it from the person in relationship with you. We are in a relationship with that larger part of us, who is always guiding our path, whether we're tuned into it or not. We can send out our requests for divine inspiration and guidance when we are in a space of sacred presence, when our heart is open and our mind quiet, so that we can broadcast our desires clearly. If we try to speak with our universe when we're frantically running around to get things done, or coming from a fear-based perspective, it would be like trying to yell across a crowded room to get someone's attention. The message becomes diluted and hard to hear. So you can treat conversations with your higher self like you would a dear friend. Perhaps you sit down over tea in a space of reverence and camaraderie. So ultimately, we are in a process of merging with and embodying our higher self. But until we do that, we are channeling our higher self, if you will. And what I've learned is that, and it doesn't, this is semantics, it doesn't really, it's all good. It doesn't necessarily matter how you see this. The way I've learned is that our soul, higher self, sort of floats in our field. It doesn't become embodied within us until we fully clear ourselves out, clearing out all the dense programming, emotional traumas, all the densities, these things that weigh us down vibrationally. Because our higher self or soul, I use those interchangeably, can't come in and be embodied by us. We can't house it until all of that is clear. and clean, and our vibration rises. Each of our bodies of consciousness rise in frequency. And eventually then our soul is able to come in and then we are, merged in one with that part of us. So I'm going to read another little passage, and this is from my book, Wild Spirit Fire, Freedom from Fear and Separation. For a certain amount of time, only part of your soul is able to stream into your experience. Your soul is made of light and is not a vibrational match to the density of the physical carbon-based body. So in uplifting your vibration and your consciousness, you activate an alchemical process and prepare a space for the entirety of your soul to be housed. This space or inner dwelling is called the light body. And your light body is an energy body or a suit that you wear in these higher realms of consciousness. Once your light body is fully activated, you are enabled to move at will between dimensions, realities, and worlds. So as your physical, mental, and emotional bodies of consciousness purge the density of the lower realms, your energy body or light body activates. For your light body to fully come online, each of these bodies of consciousness described above rise in frequency to merge and unify with the light of your soul. And they begin working together as one. Everything inside of you restructures and realigns to harmonize in a higher octave. Here you become merged with the one unified consciousness, and your higher self now becomes the captain of your experience. So, in order to allow our higher self to become the captain of our experience, what do we need to do? And this is all about surrender. So, I found the other one I'm going to read. That's hilarious. Okay, so I'm going to read that now as well. So we are here to surrender and open and trust that we don't need to, have the wheel all the time. And when I say we, I'm saying that we're this part of us, as we continue to rise and open to our higher self, that part of us that would like to maintain control, when we can recognize that's where we're coming from, we can really take a step back, breathe. You notice, right, when you're feeling like you need to control because you're feeling anxious or scared, or even the other lower emotions of like regret and sadness and grief. And I mean, it's all wonderful. It's all emotional. It's all part of this journey. But when we notice we're gripping and we're trying to grip and hold on and control, because our body is tense and tight, right? So we talked about relaxation in the very first day. When you notice that, and you're not, if you're not in your normal like flow and feeling good, and if you're feeling tense and tight, you're in that space of trying to control. So particularly those are times when we can notice, it's time for me to take a breath. It's time for me to relax. What can I do for 10 minutes to go relax? Maybe it is meditate. Maybe you're at work and you need to just go meditate, or take a walk in the park, or get in nature. And these are ways that we can undo that tension and come back to the present moment. Because when we're tense, we're not in the present moment. We're in our head and we're worried about what's going to happen next, or what happened yesterday, or why didn't they call, and all this stuff that doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter because it's not in this present moment. All that matters is what's here right now. And that's how we really truly reconnect with that larger part of us. So I'm going to read a passage again from my book, and this is, about the signs. And so when you're truly paying attention and you're present, you realize that all of life is speaking to you. Whether it's the insect that lands on your shoulder or the person in front of you who is speaking straight to your heart. The more we look for the messages designed into our experience, the more they reveal themselves. And we can ask our higher self for signs, but we must be open and receptive, trusting that an answer will come. So we can't sit there and be resigned and cynical and be like, all right, give me a sign. And then we're not really looking for it or believing it's going to come. And then you're not going to see it. You're not tuning in. You're not trusting. So our soul communicates using metaphors and symbology. And you can use your intuition to decipher the meaning of anything that presents as significant to you. And just a little note on that, like with angel numbers, for instance, you might Google, what does angel number 444 mean? And you're going to come up with lots of different, web pages with different perspectives. Everyone's saying, oh, it means this, it means that, it means that. And you're like, so it's not about listening to just these people outside of you. I mean, you can use those messages as, a guide post, but it's what's resonating for you. So maybe you click on the one and you start to read it and you can feel a resonance. Or maybe you just kind of tune in and be like, what does this mean? And the answer will reveal itself. And that's, again, this is a process. We're learning how to do all this. So life is a treasure hunt filled with magical signs. And when you are present, you will discover these gifts everywhere you go. So, resonance, yes, that is it, Lucas. Thank you. We are going to move into the guided journey. So I am going to have you go ahead and get relaxed. Sit up straight, preferably, to allow that channel to open and be straight, so you can allow the energy to move through, and just relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your entire body. Close your eyes if you'd like. And just take a few deep breaths. I just need to grab my charger, but keep breathing. I'm here with you. And keep relaxing. And breathing. All right, so now let us call in each of our ancestors, the ones who have transitioned and who are here to support our earthly missions and life processes. And just breathe into that. And let us feel the warmth and connection of our family here now. And now I'm going to have you imagine a golden ball of light in the center of your chest. And this ball is engulfing your heart center. And notice how it feels. Perhaps it feels tingly or warm. Now grow this ball of light further out to encompass your torso. And now grow it out further to encompass your entire body. And now I'll have you imagine that you can travel in this ball of light to any destination, space, or place that feels comfortable and safe to you. Perhaps it's on a quiet, secluded beach, or on a mountaintop. Or maybe it's your own sanctuary, like a room you've decorated with your favorite things. Now imagine a friendly and loving being entering your space. Feel the joy that bubbles up as this being approaches you, as this is a reunion, and there is a familiarity with who they are. Imagine this being comes to sit next to you. And as they do, you instantly feel relaxed, held, safe, and deeply joyful as you begin to realize that this being is you. It is your higher self aspect, your beautiful soul. And they are here to deliver a message. Take the next few moments to notice whatever arises in your consciousness. Perhaps it is an image, a word, or words. It could be a symbol or even a gift of some sort. So take the next few moments to receive this into your heart. And even if it doesn't come through as something concrete, just allow the energy to come into your heart and your field. Now imagine your higher self asks you to follow them. And you are led to a beautiful golden staircase, spiraling up and up and up. You follow your soul up this staircase, feeling all of your cares and worries, fears and concerns melting away as your trust in this path grows stronger. Moving up and up these spiraling staircase, you can feel your heart blossoming open and your fiery passion burning brighter as your zest for life is being ignited. As you reach the top, you are blessed with the understanding of why you have incarnated here and what your soul's purpose or mission is. And again, even if it's not specific in this moment, you can feel its essence, and you trust it will reveal itself more and more as you follow and honor your soul. At the very top of this spiral staircase is a door, and your higher self looks back at you and smiles, gesturing for you to go with them. They wait for you to step up next to them, and as you walk through this doorway together, you merge into one beautiful, sacred light being. And this union feels like nothing you have ever experienced before. You feel one with the cosmos as you sense the true nature of reality, which is more loving and embracing, forgiving, and unifying than you ever thought possible. You feel lighter than a feather as inner peace fills every cell of your being. And tears of gratitude pour down your cheeks You feel connected to every living being on the planet and throughout the universe. And this connection is pure, deep love, and nothing else. When you are ready, you can gently wiggle your toes and fingers and come back to this room. And opening your eyes whenever you feel ready. So I'll let you gently come back from that. And when you are back, let me know in the comments how this meditation was for you. Maybe you might share just one word, or you can share more if you'd like, about how that felt or what you experienced. So our higher self wants to be embodied within this vessel. But first, like we've been talking about, we have to become a vibrational match to it. So I'm going to read another passage from my book. Our higher self wants to shine forth, but it cannot be housed in this density. The heavy energies hold our soul back from fully emerging. Our higher self is actively working to help us move dense energies out, activate our light body, and open our heart so that we can become a vibrational match for soul embodiment to occur. We can do our part by tending to our temple, our physical body, our energy body, our emotional body, and our mental body. So let me ask you, if you knew without a shadow of a doubt that there is a higher power that will guide you into a more heavenly experience of life, who here would do whatever it takes to get out of their own way so that they can sense that inner guidance clearly? Please let me know if you would like to. I am going to share with you next a really powerful offering that I've put together. And this is the course that I'm giving the scholarships away for. So if you have enjoyed what you have learned and experienced in these past few days, then you are truly going to be, you're going to receive about 10 times of that impact in this 6-week course that will be starting next month. And this is the reason why. So, in this course, we're going to be working on all levels of your consciousness. Similar to the excerpt I just shared, it's important that we work on the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual bodies so that we can raise our vibration and the vibration of these bodies of consciousness to become a match for that larger part of us, so we can house that larger part of us in this physical experience. And as we do that, we move into our light body and we become lighter, and things get better and feel better. And the reflections of our reality are much more beautiful and harmonious and synchronistic, right? And when we feel so much better too, the other cool thing is when we move into 5D, it's pretty profound to know that pain goes away. we experience it differently, but it's not like it is in the third dimension and fourth dimension. So many amazing things happen as we go on this ascension journey, and we do the work to clear, heal, open, surrender to that larger part of us so that we can experience a more heavenly experience of life. So we're going to be preparing you in this course for you to receive divine inspiration. And this divine inspiration informs your very unique and path and your soul's mission. And that's sort of the path that we are going on together. So when that becomes clear for you, we don't know and we can't control that, but this is guiding you into that. More clarity. And maybe you kind of have an inkling of what you're here on this earth to do, but you'd love some more clarity around that, how to know how that looks and feels, and just to receive more guidance to know what steps to take to do that, to do your service work here. And so together we're going to be expanding into greater possibilities for blissful creation. Not just regular creation, not just good creation, not just better. I'm saying blissful creation. And truly we get to experience that because we are divine beings, and the more we allow our light to shine through and remove that density, the more orgasmic and blissful this experience really does become. And I can speak to that because I've had plenty of moments of that through the work I've done to clear my channels. There's more we could go into with all that, and we will talk about that in the course, but I'm not going to go fully into that. But it's exciting to know that that is available to us. So the name of the course is called Opening Your Channel to Divine Inspiration. And I'm just going to quickly cover the modules that we're going to be doing together. So the first one, our first week together, is called Make Peace with Your Past. So this is really about letting go of those past versions of you that simply no longer serve you. And instead we're going to be, embracing the cycles of life and letting the old chapters go and moving into the new chapters, so that you're continuing to evolve. And we're always evolving, but this is like conscious evolving, right? We're initiating our evolution, which is a beautiful thing, and our soul thanks us for, right? To be a part of this, to be not only participating, definitely not saying, nah, I don't want to, not resisting, but not even just participating, but we're starting to initiate our own evolution and become masterful at this whole ascension process. So, we'll start, in this module, we'll stop looping through those lower dimensions of consciousness and playing out our pain. Instead, like I said, we're going to continue to move forward and continue to grow consciously. So on the second module, it's called Clear the Clutter. So we're going to do some spring cleaning to make space and usher in the fresh new energies, realizations, and higher inspiration from your soul. And specifically, we'll be working on the mental and physical bodies of consciousness and bodies in this module. So that's really just about clearing the density, like we've been talking about, on the different levels. The third week, we're going to shake it up. And this is about breaking up those routines, those habits and patterns that had bound you to old, uninspired circumstances. Just the monotony and the boring adult stuff, the heavy obligation that a lot of times isn't even a true obligation, but we've just been conditioned to believe it is. All of that, we're going to really get in there and redesign your priorities is basically what we're going to do. And we're going to face your fears. You're going to face your fears. We all will. And we're going to go, and you're going to grow more confident in shaking it up. In the fourth week, we're going to, it's called Express Yourself. So you're going to be we're going to be looking at letting go of control and judgment, and completing those cycles of what you had suppressed emotionally. So this is going to free you up in many ways, countless ways, and it's going to free your true self to come forward and for your true colors to shine through. So this week is all about that emotional clearing and expressing yourself fully. The 5th week is called Embrace the Space. So you'll learn to tune into the magic, miracles, and divine inspiration that is always around you, always around all of us, but we just can't always see it. We're not always tuned into it. But through the act of surrender, like we were talking about, and opening your receptors, you are really going to be able to start to tune yourself, like tune an antenna to be able to really see and experience and benefit from the beauty all around you all the time. And then the 6th week is called Light the Spark. And this is about igniting the communication channels to your higher self. And this way that you can receive more of those light bulb moments, those sparks of divine inspiration, creative inspiration, right? And ultimately this is about our creativity, coming back to our creativity. You know, in the lower realms of consciousness, we're so stuck in survival and, you know, heavy obligation and the belief systems that keep us like not able to, just no time, right? We're in that rat race. We don't have time to explore our creative gifts or let them flourish or be in our creative essence. We're too busy and distracted. But now, you know, if you're here tuning into this broadcast, you're definitely in a space of wanting to go beyond that. And maybe you have a lot, very much so. And now we're ready to, you know, do that final clearing, cleansing, moving out the old, and really starting to come into our creative nature again, because that's what we are, creative beings. We get to create our own reality in alignment with that larger part of us. I mean, we get to do it in many ways, but that's what we want to do, right? In alignment. So in this last week, we're going to learn to you'll learn to decipher the signs and the messages and be able to hear the true calling of your soul. And so that's what this is really about. The steps, so each of these modules are actually steps for a process that I've coined the conscious creative process. So, you know, in this entire course, you're going to be learning the foundational pieces to a process that you can use again and again for the rest of your life, anytime you feel stuck, uninspired, overwhelmed, or lost. So what you'll receive, you know, and you're going to be able to see all of this on the link, which I'll give you very soon. So I'm not going to go into all that you're going to receive right now because I'm just looking at the time, but please do check it out on the page. Which we're going to put in the comments here shortly. So I really, from the bottom of my heart, invite you cordially to come taste the delicious freedoms of a divinely inspired life inside a group of heart-centered souls who want to see you shine. So this course will be running from Tuesday, October 3rd to Tuesday, November 7th. And the course is retailed at $9.97, but we do have an early enrollment price of $7.47. So Elizabeth, if you could kindly put the link to the Opening Your Channel course in the comments, that would be awesome. And this early enrollment price is only good for 1 week. So, if you're interested in joining, go ahead and type early enrollment in the comments. And if finances are tight, please do enter for the scholarship. So that's due tonight by midnight, like I was sharing earlier. And I'm going to post the scholarship info in the Facebook group as well. So you have that in case you do still want to enter. It's not too late, like I said. And if this price is feasible, just hop on over to the program page and secure your spot. And I'm happy to jump on a call if if you would like to do that, just send me a private message for that. So, okay, I think we've covered all of that I wanted to for that. Make sure to join me live tomorrow for the Q&A and the gift giveaway to be able to, receive the scholarships and the gifts. And tomorrow, do bring all of your questions. So, if you can't be there live, and I mean all the questions from this course, this 4-day training, and then also, any questions for this program that that will be starting here shortly. So send me your questions in Messenger or post them on the Facebook group wall if you can't come live, and I'll be sure to answer them. So, okay, right on time. Thank you all so very much for joining me today. I hope that you learned something, received something, and walk away with something beneficial, powerful for your soul's evolution. And I'm wishing you a beautiful rest of your day or evening, depending on when you're watching this, if you're watching this live or on the replay. And I will see you tomorrow. And we will be doing a little bit of lecture in the beginning about permission to shine. And then I'll be answering the questions and giving the answers, and then I'll be announcing the winners for the scholarships and the gifts. So again, have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, and I will see you tomorrow.